What's up, guys? It's Gator Dave. In case you haven't heard, I did win the Forge Your Company of Iron contest from Privateer Press. So I'm super psyched about that. That was awesome. There was a ton of great entries in that. I'm super blessed to have won that. I'm just totally blown away. So it was a fabulous experience to enter it, and hats off to everybody else. I mean, you guys did a lot of great stuff. The guy who got second and third, just totally awesome work, and even all the other stuff too, and even my cousin Quinn entered some really nice looking Grimkin stuff. So yeah, hats off to everybody who entered. That was awesome. And I'm super glad to see Privateer Press doing some more community-based contests like that. Since they took a lot of that stuff out of the no quarter, I think this is a good way to kind of perpetuate that forward, and really cool. So I'm excited to see what they come out with in the future, and stuff like that. So I wanted to jump into the original characters that I made for the Hot Shots, which is my company that I made for the contest. So I want to do another video, a video in the future, where I'll kind of show you guys the Raiders and Slickspine and Gub, and I'll go through the story and kind of talk about you know, their background and everything like that. But you could check that out on Privateer Press, and there's a little summary of the story, or you can check it out on Facebook in the Company of Iron group. I have my write-up in there as well. But in this video, I kind of just wanted to showcase these two guys, the brothers Muck and Mire, and kind of talk about the conversion work that I did on these. Just kind of so where the mod came from and everything like that, if you guys wanted to attempt to try and make your own. But since I did win Mire, which is the Croak Hunter right here, he's actually going to be turned into like a custom sculpt, for an alternate sculpt for the Croak Hunter, I believe. And they're going to be selling him in like a box set. So he will be available. So, but if you guys wanted to maybe take a crack at trying to make your own Muck to go with him. So, all right, let's jump into it. First, I'm going to start off with Muck. So let me get Mire out of here. Okay. All right, so if you look at Muck, he's a big dude. He's really big. He's a lot bigger than your average Croak. He's really big, really muscular and stuff like that. So, you know, if you look at like a normal Croak Raider, I mean, he's massive. You know, but I don't think he's too crazy out of scale. I wanted him to be a big dude. Like, I wanted him to be massive, but I didn't want to go too crazy. So the original base for this model was a splatter bore from Thornfall. So this was originally the pig model. And if you look, you know, you could see the gun. I didn't do anything different to the gun. That's fully Splatterbore's gun. And I left the cloth, I left the metal. The gauntlets remain the same. Like on the legs, if you look at the pig's legs, they're much longer and they come down to the hooves. I cut those off and I sculpted in like those frog feet. And then also on the lower back right here, on the lower back and also on the shoulders, there was like fur, lots of fur. So I had to shave all that off and smooth it up, so it came off as like that smooth amphibian skin. And if we come around to the front here, you'll see on this side, there's this torch here. This wasn't here. It was like these little daggers that he was holding in his fist. So I had to cut those off and file it down. And then I went in there and I put the stick in there, and then I sculpted the fire with just with some green stuff to give him the torch to make him more fit with the Croak Raiders. And then in the front, the head, I had to sculpt the whole head from scratch. So that was a little intimidating, and it took some time. I was afraid of messing it up, but I really like the way it came out. I mean, it's a little bit wonky and a little crazy, but I think like with the way the body's shaped and the back and the legs and everything like that, it doesn't look too crazy. So and I did the tongue, and there's a wire inside this, so it's nice and strong. And then of course painted them up with my Croak colors, like a traditional like a red-eyed tree frog. So it'll have like the tan and the blue and stuff like that on the sides, and then like the orange and red feet. Then I did add like some dark green spots. So that's not a red-eyed tree frog, but I did like the way it looked. So yeah, so that's Muck. And let's take a look at Mire. Bring him in here. And the base for Mire was just a Croak Hunter. So this is just a Croak Hunter model. So what I did basically was, if you remember the original Croak Hunter, he's like got a spear kind of ready to throw in this arm. So I had to cut that spear out and then move this arm down. Now this hand was just kind of open and back. That arm had to come up, which I had to cut, and then I had to sculpt in those ropes right there, and then turn the hand up. The hand I had to cut off completely, and I actually sculpted that hand. And then this staff here, his new spear, is the spear of the Gator Man Bokor from the Gator Man posse. But I did cut off the bottom and the top parts of the Croak Hunter spear and put them on the stick to give him this really cool, badass mix between the Blindwater Congregation Gatorman Posse spear and a Croak Hunter spear. And then I sculpted like this Hawaiian little battle dress on there over what was there. And then these skulls are from the necklace of that Gator Jack, that Gator character Jack. His name eludes me right now, but I got that off the Bits thing on their website, Privateer Press's website. So that's where those skulls came from that are on the dress. And then on his stomach, if you look at the normal Croak Hunter, he has like a crab claw thing on his, like a crab claw necklace. I cut that off completely and filed that down. And then I added these skulls for shoulder pads. That's just green stuff. So those skulls are just green stuff. Kind of wonky, not too terrible. And then I added like this bone mask. And then there's supposed to be like, that's supposed to be like leaves or fur coming off along the sides there. And that goes around and kind of like runs down the back. Similar to Caliban's is what I wanted to go for. Because Caliban also has something similar to that. And then this little bit in the middle, this is actually a bit from my bit bin, and I have no idea where it came from. Like this little gem piece with the little feather there, and then the rest of all those pieces and stuff like that are all just kind of sculpted in, just to kind of like tie it together. And then the cape is actually all green stuff too. So it's not super fancy, just kind of a basic thing. I mean, there could be way more folds and stuff like that, but we were under like a time restraint, so I just wanted to get it done. So, you know, I did what I could. There could be so much more wrinkles and folds and details in it. And even like where it's stitched together, I actually, I wanted to sculpt in actual individual stitching, but the time was getting so close that I ended up just painting over the stitching with like non-watered down thick paint to try and give it that stitched look. So, and then for the basing, just a stick. That's a stick I found in my backyard, so that's just a normal stick. And some different basing materials. I got some stuff from Army Painter on here, some Gale Force 9 moss, stuff like that. This was a tiny little seashell, and then I sculpted with some putty in the front to make a little hermit crab. So, all right, guys. So I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the rundown of how I made these guys. I had a lot of people asking, so I just kind of wanted to make a quick video and share them with you guys. I'm super happy to have won. Super thankful. It's so great. Really looking forward to what Privateer Press comes up with for an alternate sculpt for the Croak Hunter. So be on the lookout for that, guys. And also be on the lookout for another hotshot video coming up soon. You haven't seen the last of these guys. I want to do a video diving into the story that I came up with and just get a little more in depth. So you guys could check out that. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please leave a like. I would really appreciate it. And please share the video with your friends so they could check out my content as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great one. I'll catch you later. Gator Dave out.
This is Ice Froggy Frog, and this is a little song for all the pollywogs and the tadpoles from the big frog. From the depths of the pond, back to the top, Ice Froggy Frog jumping, and I got the drop. Get solo in that grass, tadpoles will sing.